Charles Lindbergh was more than just a pilot. He was a symbol of American ingenuity and daring. His achievements in aviation were groundbreaking, and his spirit of adventure inspired countless individuals across the globe. His solo flight across the Atlantic in 1927 captured the imagination of the world. It was a feat that seemed almost impossible at the time, and yet Lindbergh made it a reality, flying from New York to Paris in the spirit of St. Louis. He became a national hero, the Lone Eagle, his name synonymous with courage and innovation. The world watched in awe as he navigated the skies, and upon his return, he was greeted with parades and celebrations, a testament to his monumental achievement. When he married Anne Morrow Lindbergh, a writer and adventurer in her own right, the world saw a golden couple. Their partnership was one of mutual respect and shared passion for exploration and discovery. Their union seemed to embody the hopes and dreams of a nation on the rise. Together, they represented the ideal American family, full of promise and potential. The birth of their son, Charles Jr., only amplified this sense of national pride. The Lindberghs were seen as a beacon of hope, a symbol of the bright future that lay ahead for America. The Lindbergh baby, as he became known, represented the future, a beacon of hope in an era of uncertainty. His presence brought joy not only to his parents but to an entire nation that looked up to the Lindberghs. But fame, as it often does, cast a long shadow. The Lindberghs, despite their desire for a private life, found themselves constantly in the public eye. The Lindberghs, thrust into the spotlight, found their privacy constantly under siege. The relentless attention from the media became an inescapable part of their daily lives. Little did they know that this intrusion would soon take a terrifying turn, plunging the nation into a nightmare. The kidnapping of their beloved son would become one of the most harrowing events in American history. The story of the Lindbergh baby kidnapping is one of the most enduring mysteries in American history, a tale of unimaginable loss, a frantic search for answers, and a trial that captivated the world. The nation watched in horror as the events unfolded, hoping for a miracle that never came. It's a story that continues to fascinate and haunt us, a reminder that even in the face of extraordinary achievement, darkness can lurk at the edge of our most cherished dreams. The legacy of Charles Lindbergh is a complex one, marked by both incredible triumph and profound tragedy. March 1st, 1932. The air was crisp and cold at the Lindbergh estate in Hopewell, New Jersey. Inside the sprawling home, the family prepared for the night. Little Charles Jr., just 20 months old, was tucked into his crib, the sounds of the night settling around him. Around 9 p.m., the family's nurse, Betty Gow, went to check on the child. She was met with a chilling sight. The crib was empty. Panic seized the household. A frantic search began, every corner of the house meticulously examined, but the baby was gone. Outside, near the nursery window, a chilling discovery. A crudely constructed ladder lay broken on the ground. It was clear that someone had taken the child, vanishing into the night. The news spread like wildfire. The Lindbergh baby had been kidnapped. The kidnapping sent shockwaves through America, a nation already grappling with the Great Depression. The news of the Lindbergh baby's abduction spread like wildfire, igniting a collective sense of dread and urgency. The nation held its breath, united in fear and sympathy for the Lindberghs. People from all walks of life felt the weight of the tragedy, as if it had struck their own families. The media descended upon the family's home, their cameras capturing every detail of the unfolding drama. Reporters camped outside, hoping for any scrap of information that could lead to a breakthrough. The police launched a massive investigation, determined to find the kidnappers and bring the baby home safely. Every clue was meticulously examined, every lead pursued with relentless vigor. Days turned into agonizing weeks. The Lindbergh family, once a symbol of American success, now faced an unimaginable nightmare. Then, a break in the case. A phone call that reignited hope, a glimmer of light in the darkness. The kidnappers made contact, demanding a $50,000 ransom. It was a staggering sum, but the Lindberghs were willing to pay any price for their child's safe return. The Lindberghs, desperate to have their son back, agreed to pay. Their hope was a fragile thing, but it was all they had. A retired schoolteacher, Dr. John F. Condon, became an intermediary, communicating with the kidnappers through coded messages in the newspapers. His involvement brought a new layer of complexity to the case, but the kidnappers were elusive, their identities shrouded in mystery. They moved like shadows, always one step ahead. Despite several attempts to deliver the ransom, the baby remained missing. Each failed handover deepened the despair. Hope began to dwindle with each passing day. The nation watched and waited, their prayers growing more fervent, their hopes more desperate. The nation prayed for a miracle, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. The collective sorrow was palpable, a testament to the deep connection people felt to the Lindbergh family. On May 12, 1932, a gruesome discovery shattered any remaining hope. The body of a toddler was found in the woods, just a few miles from the Lindbergh estate. The discovery was made by a truck driver who had stopped to relieve himself. He stumbled upon the remains, partially buried and covered with leaves. The body was badly decomposed, but the Lindberghs confirmed their worst fears. It was their beloved Charles Jr. The child's skull was fractured, and it was clear that he had been dead for some time. The nation mourned with the Lindberghs. Public grief was palpable, and the case that had captivated the nation now took on a darker, more tragic tone. The kidnapping, once a symbol of hope and resilience, became a symbol of loss and the limits of justice. The media frenzy intensified, and the public demanded answers and justice for the innocent child. The police, now pursuing a murder investigation, faced immense pressure to find the killer. Every lead was scrutinized and every clue was followed, but the trail seemed to grow colder with each passing day. The investigation continued for over 2 years, with few leads and mounting frustration. Detectives worked tirelessly, but the case seemed to be slipping further from their grasp. Then, in 1934, a break in the case came from an unexpected source, a marked bill. This bill was part of the ransom money, and it had been carefully tracked by the authorities. Part of the ransom money, a gold certificate, was used in New York City. The bill was traced back to a gas station attendant who remembered the man who had used it. The trail led to Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a German immigrant and carpenter, who had a stash of the ransom money hidden in his garage. His arrest marked a significant turning point in the investigation, bringing a glimmer of hope that justice might finally be served. Section 5. A Nation on Trial. Hauptmann's arrest in September 1934 was, well, a media sensation. The trial that followed in 1935 became the trial of the century, captivating the nation and honestly the entire world. Newspapers printed every detail and radio broadcasts brought the courtroom drama into homes across the country. The evidence against Hauptmann was circumstantial but compelling. The prosecution presented the ransom money found in his possession, eyewitness testimony linking him to the Lindbergh home, and handwriting analysis that matched Hauptmann's writing to the ransom notes. Hauptmann maintained his innocence throughout the trial, claiming he had been framed. His wife, Anna, stood by his side, pleading his case to the public. Despite their efforts, the jury found Hauptmann guilty of kidnapping and murder. He was sentenced to death. Section 6. Justice served. On April 3, 1936, Bruno Richard Hauptmann was executed in the electric chair at New Jersey State Prison. His execution did little to quell the public's fascination with the case. Many believed that Hauptmann was guilty, that justice had been served. However, others had lingering doubts, fueled by inconsistencies in the evidence and the prosecution's conduct. Some argued that the ladder used in the kidnapping was too flimsy for one person to have used, suggesting an accomplice. Others questioned the reliability of the handwriting analysis and eyewitness accounts. Some even whispered that Lindbergh himself was somehow involved, although there was never any evidence to support such claims. Section 7. The Enduring Shadow of Doubt. Despite his execution, the controversy surrounding Bruno Hauptmann's guilt or innocence never truly faded. Over the years, numerous books, documentaries, and articles have re-examined the case, highlighting inconsistencies and exploring alternative theories. Some believe that Hauptmann was innocent, a scapegoat for a crime he did not commit. They point to the lack of direct evidence linking him to the kidnapping and the possibility that the real killer or killers were never brought to justice. The passage of time has only deepened the mystery, making it unlikely that definitive answers will ever be found. Section 8. A Nation Transformed. The Lindbergh baby kidnapping was a watershed moment in American history. It exposed the dark side of celebrity and the vulnerability of even the most privileged families. The case led to the creation of new laws, including the Lindbergh Law, which made kidnapping a federal crime. The intense media scrutiny surrounding the case also highlighted the need for ethical guidelines in journalism. The Lindbergh tragedy demonstrated the power and the perils of the press in shaping public opinion. The case remains a cautionary tale about the dangers of trial by media and the importance of due process. Section 9. Echoes of the crime. The Lindbergh baby kidnapping continues to resonate in the 21st century, its themes of loss, justice, and the relentless pursuit of truth as relevant as ever. The case has inspired countless works of fiction and nonfiction, each attempting to make sense of the tragedy and its enduring hold on the American psyche. The kidnapping also serves as a reminder of the importance of protecting children. The case sparked a national conversation about child safety and led to improvements in law enforcement techniques and forensic science. The legacy of the Lindbergh baby kidnapping is a complex one, a mix of tragedy and progress. It remains a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of mystery.